Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lola Spencer and I am a healer. I am definitely somebody who loves to inspire others. I love knowing that once people come across me, that they leave feeling better, more uplifted. So I use my hands a lot. There goes that. But anyway, welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to check in before I start rambling and talking about today's topic. So today has been amazing. I have had a great day so far. I've cried a lot. So did I yesterday. You know, the past couple of days have been extremely healing. Honestly, it has been the kind of healing that I don't even know what really is healing. Because like sometimes you know and then sometimes you don't. But that's when I pray and I'm like, you know what, God, let these tears heal me. You know, I make it intentional. And just allow clarity to come through because Lord knows. But anyway, a lot of great things have been happening all around me, especially in my family. So I feel super blessed. For today, I've chosen the topic of discernment. What is discernment? Let's start there. So I have Google Dictionary right here. So I am going to read directly from Google what it means to discern. So in Christian terms, discernment means the perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual guidance and understanding. And then like the regular, like the urban definition is the ability to judge well. Okay, so now, why is it important to discern? The reason why it is important to discern is because that is the one thing that is going to allow you to know what's right and what's wrong for you, to elevate and continue onto the path that you've been chosen to walk through, you know, before you were even born, your destiny. So after I thought about bringing discernment to the table for you guys, I had to really put it into work for myself. Is because I don't want to talk about something, you know, preach something that I don't practice. So it is very real to me to have to do things before I just go out there to the world and speak them. And I had to go through a specific process with myself in which I had to keep it real with myself in order for me to be able to make this video. I came up with this idea some time ago, and I finally feel ready to expose it to you guys because I have been living in a more discerning level of living, because I am now more aware of what is right for me and wrong, and I truly challenge myself to choose what's right for me, what works for Lola. So now that we have that exposed, I want to move forward onto a list that I came up with on how to basically pass down this information as valuable so that hopefully you guys, the viewers, can ultimately apply to your purpose and journey into your discernment. For those of you that have already been in that journey and that live that truth, hopefully you guys can enjoy this video or you can add to your tools. So, number one, it is very important for you to allow yourself to be freed from your fears. You have to welcome the solution to your fears by addressing your fears. So I created a list of the things that I was afraid of. In order for me to come up with that list, I had to be in silence. It has taken my whole life experiences to bring me to that awakening or that intention, that want to discern, you know, to figure it out. Like, why is it that I keep making wrong decisions that keep putting me in a place that I don't want to be in? You know, and I feel like I've gotten wiser through time, and the wiser you become, the less you can fill yourself up with BS because it just gets louder. If you don't hear it in the scream, you're going to hear it in the shout. I think that's how that goes. So for me, I started off by, you know, just being quiet, just straying away from people, from the crowd, from any distractions. And I just started listening to myself, like, what are you afraid of? And oh my God, I kid you not, I kid you not. Like, it's like I've been knowing my whole life what I was afraid of, but I just never really took the time to sit down and face those things, those fears, you know? Because fears are like an illusion. However, don't get it wrong, you know, they are indicators. If you feel fear of something, like you're scared of something, trust and believe that you have to make room for that. You have to open that vault of, or that space, you know, open it up and unfold it. Let it speak to you. And you must hear yourself, because that's where the key is, in yourself. So I came up, you know, I'm just going to share some with you guys. I realized that I feared neglection. I feared rejection. I feared, to an extent, being alone. Like, because I was kind of mixed up between alone and loneliness. Because, like, I am a loner by nature. Like, I'm an extrovert, introvert, so to speak. However, in my true nature, I was afraid. I was actually afraid to be alone, like, and just be in myself and feel myself and just be okay with myself, you know? It was always like I wanted, like, to escape. So I had some scapegoats that were not so productive for me. And yeah, those are like little things that I started realizing, like, dude, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not who I am. Like, every time I do this, like a distraction, I feel like bad. I don't like the way that I feel. So that kind of awakened this side of me that I was like, okay, Lola, you have to figure this out, you know? And it has taken, you know, people, experiences, catalysts, because you already know how the universe works. The moment that you set an intention forth and that you want to figure something out, immediately you're going to receive the contrast and, like, the chaos that comes along with wanting to tap into this realization, because that's going to help you also discern. Like, discernment is going to start making an entrance, like louder and louder. Like, okay, this doesn't feel good, right? This feels bad, right? So what you're going to do about it? Now, after you write down your fears, it's time to release them. What does that mean? Accept it, embrace it, own it. It's great. That's amazing. You're afraid. Hello. We are taught fear from the moment that we're born. You know, that's totally okay. However, that's when you make room for the solutions, which is the complete opposite of your fears. And those solutions are going to truly transform your life. Because when you connect with yourself in a very honest way, it doesn't matter what people think or what it may look like from the outside looking in, because it is going to be a process. That's okay. Because it is all leading you to your higher purpose. And that's where we got to be at. You know, we should be connected. We should be leveling up to our higher selves, so that our true selves can show up more often. I wrote down here that if you keep them hidden in the dark, they serve no purpose. That's when they become demons. They become, like, you know, they become bigger. And we kind of like, we feel like we're trapped or like we're incarcerated, but like we're not, because we're like free. So step number 2, follow your intuition. So this is when God comes in. Like, I don't know what you guys believe in. I don't know your practices, but I hope that, you know, for those of you who are watching, I hope that we can agree that there's something bigger than us. Like, we're not the biggest thing, because, honey, somebody better take that wheel, right? Now, God is always like the beaming light that is shining through your darkness. And he speaks to us directly through our intuition. However, oftentimes it's kind of like, you know, obscured, like clouded, because of what I said earlier, because basically of what we were taught, or like how we were raised, or how much we were quieted. You know, that's really big right there. You know, a lot of the times people who were there, you know, who played a role in your upbringing, it's not that they did it intentionally. It's not that they were on a mission, you know, to want to, you know, shut you down. However, it's like generational things that happen. And we're just like in the middle of it all, you know? And that's when we continue growing and just reinforcing those bad habits. Like, you're going against your true self. and you're just building now new, like other parts to add on to that, you know, to reinforce that, that's kind of like bad, you know, that I don't think that's the best. So, okay, listening to your intuition is key, like super major key, because it brings out your authenticity, your authentic self, and your true guidance. I don't want to just, you know, simplify it and say that intuition is just that, but definitely that's a major key. That's like straight up like, oh my gosh, this is talking to me. Like, you can't look to the left and you can't look to the right and think to yourself like, did you hear that? No, that's when you realize like, oh my gosh, this is like talking to me. And yeah, you got to follow that. You should, you know. Now, number 3, I also thought, quiet yourself. You need to make sure that you separate yourself from the noise, from the distractions, from the things that are around you, or the things that you do or that you go for when you're trying to run away from yourself. Just to put it in simple terms, you know, when you're trying to run away, you will do just anything and you will take anything. And that's what discernment is about. Like, no, I don't have to take everything, because everything doesn't work for me. What works for me? What gives me happiness? Because remember, we're doing this thing called life for joy and happiness. We're not doing this to please others and to run away from ourselves, because I don't know where that will take us, to be honest. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think or imagine what that would be like. Actually, I choose to see that there's hope, you know, and that we're all gonna get this right? So disregard distractions, right? For example, addiction, people, places, things, thoughts that shun your inner light, your true voice. You gotta put that aside. It is very important for you to realize, you know, this is here, like all of those distractions are there. You know, just don't act blind, because that's not keeping it real with yourself. You got to realize like, yeah, these things are there, but I'm going to have to put you aside for a little bit. I heard you and you. I see you and you. But now I have to separate myself from this so that I can give myself, my true self, my higher self, a fair chance to speak to me. Now, you're not going to like what yourself has to say. I mean, let's keep it real. Because when you have built a habit running away from yourself, when you come back to yourself, it's not going to be the prettiest thing on earth. Yourself is not going to be so easygoing with you, because it's like, finally, it's like, you know, our relationships usually, you know, when we hold in a lot of things and we don't express them properly, and then suddenly we let it out, and it's like, whoa, like, you know, your cousin or like your father, your best friend is like, or your man is like, or girlfriend are like, where did this all come from? I was not expecting this. Like, and it's like, no, like, I've been quieted for so long, now it's my turn to speak. So yeah, it's gonna be similar, but it's beautiful. Because all that ourselves is trying to do is help us be our best, highest self. If you listen to yourself, and you know what I'm talking about, there's going to be a good and a bad side, you know, the devil and the angel. And totally, it is more difficult to follow the angel because he like wants to do the right things. But it is harder, believe it or not, ultimately, if you choose to do the wrong all the time, because that is going to add up and is going to explode. Because our higher self and true self and God himself do not want that. They're like, hold up, my child, I'm going to intervene with this. And that's when a lot of other things can crumble before your eyes. But it's all for the better, for the greater good, because that's what's going to bring out your true self. It's going to help you see yourself and what yourself has to say. Take action once you've addressed your fears. After you silence yourself, after you listen to your intuition, then you must communicate forward what you want in order to support this spiritual growth. Okay. This is very important. This point right here, number 5, is so powerful, because it turns out that every change needs to be supported. And I love you. That was my son.
I just wanted to hug you.
Aw, I love you. He just wanted to check me. So we all know that, or I hope we all know, that when we are making changes in our life or adjustments, it needs support. So if you're trying to stop addiction, right? There's a 12-step program. There are communities out there of supporters, you know, professional or just testimonial supporters that can help you get through this process, right? So if you want to like join the basketball team and you want to become a basketball player, you're going to need a support team, right? Like a coach, teammates, you know, people that are going to be involved in the process of the upcoming changes in your life, right? The same thing happens when you're trying to discern. Once you've made the decision, right, and you've faced your fears, you've silenced yourself, and you've heard yourself, and you're not moving, you're putting in action, you put in that action, right? You have to now, when needed, of course, you know, speak up. Now you can communicate clearly and properly because now you've listened to yourself. And your true self is peaceful, you know. You don't need to like go out there and start telling people like, this is a new me, like boundaries, you know, and all this extra stuff. Actually, no. You're gonna get more being humble and just being transparent. And if anybody's gonna flake away, then good. Then good. Now you know their true colors. But for the most part, you're gonna get amazing reactions when you start to kind of like speak up on that truth, that new self. That I call it like being reborn, like, you know. So this is such a beautiful stage in all of the steps, because this is when you really start to own that growth. And there's nothing more beautiful in this world than owning your truth. Literally nothing more beautiful and more empowering. And it makes you feel so confident. Like it's such a confident experience. Through your growth, you inspire others, you motivate others. That is super contagious, because it's sort of like people can see themselves in you. Like, meaning, you know how we were taught to like not be our true selves? Then suddenly you start to plant that seed everywhere you go. And people are like, oh my gosh, you know, they start kind of looking at them into themselves. Because, you know, we be thinking that people can see what we're going through, but they really can't. But people can definitely feel you. That's the difference. So when you start to make those changes and, you know, just walking around earth, you know, and interacting and just leaving your beautiful energy aura, you know, everywhere you go, you know, shedding some light in the universe, let me tell you that that is all that you need. You know, it's like a trickle effect, the good kind. So food for thought on that one. Now, step 6. Discernment is the key to higher consciousness and elevation. I did mention this before, but I just want to like say this again. Discernment is the key to higher consciousness. Just let that sink in for a moment. Higher consciousness. We all have it. Through everything and anything that we've been through, definitely higher consciousness has never left. You know what I mean? True self here and there has taken a seat because we've been like, we don't even care about this almighty person, queen or king that lives inside of me. Like, you need to sit. Like, there's no crown. But higher consciousness, you cannot fool that one. That is literally God's like doorway to us. Like, you don't want to listen to intuition? Okay, I got higher consciousness. Higher consciousness is the thing that literally just knows what's right and what's wrong. So literally the moment you kill somebody, you're like, oh shit, I just killed somebody. Wrong. The moment that like you robbed somebody or you cheated at something, higher consciousness. That is not going to let you like get away with anything. So it is so great to enter discernment, because that's when we truly start to elevate and work through and move through our higher self. So we start to show up more as our higher self. And that's what this world is about. I mean, I think it is. I think we, you know, we're here to be great. We're great ones. So, last but not least, step 7. We need to accept and honor discernment into our lives, because only then will we live a full life. We can live a free life, like a truly free life. We live by God's calling. We move with intention. We move through love. We move in light. We uplift people. We uplift one another. Like, that's what I mean. Because you're going to hear me say this a million times. When I say we're all one, that's what I mean. Like, it is so essential for each and every one of us to get it right, to get ourselves right, you know, so that way we can uplift one another and help each other through this journey. Because at the end of the day, it's not about ego. The ego is the one who's like, I'm going to be better than half of the people that are in this world. That's not what it is about. It's more about making the changes that you must for the better. So through those changes, you just empower others and reflect the true self of other beings that surround you. So each one heal one, each one teach one, you know, like, let's rise. When we are able to tap into our spirit and follow the innate wisdom that it has to share with us, we become whole. We reap the benefits as the relationships around us. I'm reading this directly from my computer because this was like a message that I wanted to speak directly. We reap the benefits as the relationships around us improve all around. Our light shines bright, clarity showers our minds. You don't have to speak much anymore. In action and in presence, we show up resilient, and God's grace reflects right through. Discernment allows us to choose what is right for us each and every time. We do not need to suffer for the rest of our lives. The sooner that you choose to listen to your higher consciousness, the sooner that you'll begin to walk into the path that God has destined for you. You don't need money to enter this realization. You just need to make the decision to want to listen to what your higher self has to say by silencing yourself over and over again. Let go of your old self and let God in. So guys, I hope that this message has been helpful and I express myself from my heart and my true self. I really like to put things together, and before I express them, I feel like I need to be connected to what I am going to say, which is the only way that I can heal, help heal, you know, and teach others. So thank you guys so much for watching this today. And before I finish this video, I want to read a card from my Crazy Sexy Love Notes by Chris Carr. This was a gift from a woman, from one of the women that that's in my women's circle. I am part of this women's circle where we show each other support, and we literally, you know, help each other grow on so many levels. So I picked a card today and I prayed over it as I was shuffling the cards so that I can pull out a message that can serve you guys. And I can't even believe what card I pulled. I actually left it upside down because I didn't want to see it. I wanted to save it for last, just to see how this connected to everything that I had to say today. And guess what I got? Look at that. Look at that. The universe talking. Thank you, God. Believe. So now there's a script in the back and I'm going to read it to you guys. There's magic all around you. Open up to the wonders of the universe. Wow. Notice the connections and synchronicities. Follow your feelings and believe with all your heart. We successfully manifest our dreams when our feelings are in alignment with our plans. Woo! From that sacred union, the right ideas take shape, the best relationships blossom, and the stuff that's meant to be easily falls into place. Everything is possible. Are you serious? This card just summarized everything that I said. I should have read this first. Oh my God. But you know what? I am happy I pulled it last anyway because it has literally just confirmed and reaffirmed everything that I said. So thank you guys for watching this video today. You are more than welcome to subscribe and like this video if it was significant for you. I am going to continue posting videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. And if I do post before, in between the week or so, because I have a message and I'm being called to, spread a message real quick, I will definitely let you guys know. Feel free to comment below any feedback or any topic that you guys would like to, hear about or would like for me to discuss with you guys. And please also add anything that you feel called upon, because I'm always open to receiving new information from people, because I like to, readjust things always, and add things to my tools. So thank you guys and have a wonderful, wonderful day.